Tower Defense Simulator is a game with some incredibly rare items. Skins only available 4 years ago, event towers you haven't been able to buy for 3 years. Some of these towers have more value than gold. Or at least they do right now, but their future value is looking a tad uncertain. It's seeming like TDS is looking to change somewhat, as some of the rarest towers and skins may be going back up for grabs. No more gatekeeping. So I want to take this maybe last chance here to go through some of the rarest stuff as it currently stands. Now, between the least owned towers and skins are by far the more exclusive category. Which makes sense, as they don't affect gameplay in any way, so there's a lot less impact in keeping some of them vaulted. But even with the unique towers, there's a couple notable rarities. Commando, for example, was originally from this dumb Area 51 event in 2019, and is one of 2 event towers to have never been resold as a game pass, the other being Swarmer from the Easter 2020 event. And these are actually the only 2 towers I'm missing from my inventory. And up there with them in rarity is Frost Blaster and Slasher, 2 other 2019 event towers. And I want to focus on Slasher for a second here, because I own him. I bought this Game Pass back in the day. This is probably the rarest thing on my account, as according to this TDS players pool, Slasher is the rarest tower by a margin of 3 pixels. And if you're not blessed enough to have this incredible tower, you're not missing out on much, honestly. Like, the easiest way to illustrate this is just look at its wiki entry.
Towers such as the Soldier may be better due to their longer range, however.
Which is a nice way of saying, it sucks. The Slasher uses a melee weapon, this Roblox free asset Murder Mystery 2 knife, and the most interesting thing about it is that it has this knife throw ability, where basically every so often while attacking, it'll throw a blade with piercing damage, which gives it something, but it's still not very impactful. Really, the strongest aspect of the tower is just the design. It's got that iconic TDS 2020 era style, and both the skins it has are great, if you ignore those misaligned glowing eyes. I think it's kind of true for all these towers that the rarity precedes the actual quality of them. Like, look at this Swarmer, look at this old version of Frost Blaster. Look at Commando, dog, he's a block EMFer. But that might be changing, as recently the Frost Blaster tower was made obtainable again via Game Pass for the first time in... So I thought the 600 Robux there was probably worth it. And unlike some prior examples of returning event tower game passes, this tower was unique in that it had been completely redesigned, rebalanced, and remodeled. It essentially became an entirely new tower, now with piercing shots and major stat changes. And it seems like this approach of remaking the tower before re-releasing it may be the blueprint going forward. Based on Discord messages from TDS staff, it's about 99% confirmed that a Commando rework is coming soon, and I seriously doubt they're going to rework this tower without re-releasing it as a Game Pass. And therefore, I also doubt they would release this tower unchanged in 2024. Like, it's going to have to be remodeled, surely. Personally, I would quite like this scenario, as that would leave me just lacking Swarmer in my collection. But I'm going to be a tad sad when the same inevitably occurs with Slasher. My account's resale value is going to plummet. You know, objectively, unobtainable items and gatekeeping suck. But when you're on the other side of it, keep it exclusive, don't let anyone have what I have. But seriously, I am in favor of re-releasing old stuff. It's really not worth getting upset over. I think there's a decent chance that eventually, all of these old event towers are completely redone, although that might take until like 2030. But what's far less certain, skins. Now previously, old skins were pretty much, were you playing TDS during 2019? Alright, you can't get these skins. However, as of recently, there's been a bit of an influx of old skins being made obtainable for everyone. Paradoxum Games has kinda softly experimented with this a few times before, but have gone a bit harder recently, particularly with the Halloween and Christmas 23 crates, as they put select older skins back into the pool. There are 2 kind of categories between them, remakes and unchanged variants. The remade skins seem way more predictable. For example, the Minigunner Tower got a new design, and had almost its entire roster of skins remade. So when a Halloween crate came out, they took 3 of those remade, unobtainable skins and put them back in circulation. This makes sense, you know, if you're gonna spend all that effort completely redesigning these old skins, you might as well actually let people get them. Alongside these though, there are also some older unchanged skins. For example, in the Halloween crate there was the Graveyard Farm, the Hallowpunk Shotgunner, the Halloween Hunter, and the Pumpkin Cowboy. And there's a bit less consistency with these. Farm makes sense, everyone loves Farm, but the Shotgunner skin, the Hunter skin, I'm not complaining because I didn't have them, but it's kind of an odd selection, especially compared to some of the other banger Halloween 2019 skins. And again with the Jolly Crate, half of the 2019 Christmas roster skins returned. The Minigunner skin was remade, and the Farm skin returned unchanged, which, side note, glad to get this one also. Now I can think of some good reasons to not return those other two skins, but it does likely mean that, bar a total remake of either of those towers, it's very possible that these skins stay vaulted forever. And then again, even with remakes, nothing's guaranteed. Like Minigunner still has its Party, Twitter, Community, Bunny, and Beach skins all locked in an unobtainable state, despite their glow-ups. Now I do think that all these will probably eventually come out, but that might take a while. Ranger 2 was remade and received new versions of its Valentine skin, Bunny skin, Frost skin, and Eclipse skin, none of which you can get currently. I really need that Bunny skin, it is insane. And you could argue that this whole discussion is meaningless, and the only reason these skins returned at all was due to a lack of time, so they had to reuse some assets. But I kinda disagree. Like in both cases they released a bunch of brand new skins via the Battle Pass. And if they wanted to, they could have just not released a crate at all. And in the Halloween crate itself, there was a bunch of new skins anyway. It just seems like in general they're going the direction of being more generous with older content. So with all this in mind, I want to go through 10 assorted unobtainable skins, some of the more notable older ones, and give my opinion on whether or not they'll ever come back, sorting them into a trendy tier list. This is just me guessing, honestly, I really have no clue. First of all, Pumpkin Gladiator. This is a Halloween 2020 skin, and it does show its age pretty clearly. The flat torso with a Roblox texture, the default pumpkin head, although I think they still actually use this pumpkin head, so... That said, I feel like there's an outside chance this could maybe return if they do a similar thing next year with the Halloween crate, because the model still looks decent enough, and I think a lot of people would like to get their hands on it. So I'll put that in outside chance. Demon Gladiator kinda pairs with the prior skin. They were both released during the same event, but I'd say this one has less chance of being re-released. The model is just way too dated. Like, I don't know how to sugarcoat this. He looks dumb. I would say there's no chance, but the demon theming is a cool concept, so maybe they'll revisit it one day, but I would say what chance there is extremely low. I'll stick it in can't see returning. The Springtime Slasher. I'd really like for this one to return. I don't have it, but it's just such a random skin. It was originally a loose code during the 2020 Easter event. I don't know exactly where you'd stick it nowadays, maybe like in the deluxe crate. Money. I definitely think Slasher itself would need a complete remodel for there to be any chance of this one getting released. So I'll stick it in needs a remake tier. Party Minigunner. I feel pretty positive about this one. Among the other remakes of old skins that haven't yet been released, I think there's a lot of potential for this one. Like theming wise, it would make a ton of sense to release maybe as a code for a milestone or like as a prize for a certain mission quest. And the whole party series of 3 skins, which this is originally from, has already been semi-re-released in the past. So the precedent is there. Party Minigunner was also one of the few remodels to be publicly teased before the update. Yeah, I feel this one's likely. It might take a while, but I have hope. Bunny Ranger. Now I quite like the Bunny series of skins, but this remade version is just peak of peak. The skin is insane. New top 10 entry game wide. Implementation could be kinda weird, like the whole Bunny series is in kind of a strange place. Most of the models are just bunny textured clothes in a Roblox hood. Then you have Bunny Mortar, which is a 1-to-1 broken skin that shouldn't be remade. And then Ranger and Minigunner both just got improved by like 1,000,000%. So I really don't know what you do there. Maybe they'll eventually redo the entire series. Maybe they'll put the remade ones in like a spring crate or something. Who's to say? I just know I need this skin. So I'm going to manifest positive energy and put it in the top tier. ICT Freezer. This is a weird skin. It was a code released in 2020 in tandem with the Castus Cowboy, and it was just recently remade alongside the Freezer's base model itself. Also, for whatever reason, I have the Castus skin, but not ICT. Like, I got the code originally, I didn't get it from the crate. So even though they came out at the same time, I didn't redeem the other code. I think it's literally because at the time, I didn't want to buy the Freezer Tower. It's not a crazy skin, but it's very clean, especially with the remodel, and I'd say it's pretty likely to return. After all, Castus Cowboy, its literal mirror skin, ended up being re-released, which gives me a good feeling about this one. Gargoyle Commander. So this got released during Halloween 2019, and I could honestly see this going either way. Like, I don't think it's going to be remade anytime soon, because remaking the Commander Tower would be a nightmare, I imagine. But this feels like one of the more prestigious rare skins. Like, as it is, it's definitely high enough quality to be released, but I don't know if it will be. Like with the Halloween crate recently, they only brought back some of the dare I say, lamer 2019 skins. Not this, not the Pyromancer, not the Medic, not the Militant. Maybe that's coincidence, or maybe it isn't. Maybe there's a big conspiracy, they're trying to gatekeep. I really couldn't say, so I'm just going to stick it in the middle here. And I feel similarly about Ghost DJ. Released during the Halloween 2020 event, this is one of the most iconic unobtainable skins. Someone made a whole change.org petition to bring it back. It only got 32 signatures, but that's still a lot of effort. And I know fellow TDS YouTuber Souls was vocal about wanting its return. A lot of people want it, although I will tell you, the wiki comments are ruthless towards this skin. I feel like it's in a similar position to Gargoyle Commander in that the quality's fine. I think they could release it today without remaking it, but hypotheticals aside, there's a prime opportunity to do so with the recent Halloween event, and it didn't come out. So again, really not certain about this one, although it feels a bit more likely than Gargoyle to me. Steampunk Rocketeer. This one seems like a very random skin among all these other event ones, but Steampunk Rocketeer is sneakily very rare, as for some reason, it randomly got removed from the crate pool it was in over 3 years ago, meaning you can't unbox it anymore. I don't even have this skin in my Propellers account, it's only on my alt. Yeah, I think this skin's been forgotten. Like, Rocketeer in general is kind of a forgotten tower. It doesn't really get any new skins. Maybe they're planning a rework or something. That's certainly the only way I potentially see this one becoming obtainable again. And finally, Witch Medic. I like this skin a lot. There's no chance it's not coming back. So yeah, that's my thoughts on rare stuff, the TDS stock market. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and do all that. Bye.